Hi everyone, welcome back to PodCask. I'm Tom from Whisky By Time.
And I'm Ollie.
And we are the founders of Whisky By Time, as you already know. How are you, mate?
You're good yourself?
Yeah, all right, not bad. What should our listeners expect today then, Ollie?
So we're going to talk about, look, we're whiskey traders, right? We essentially trade information first and foremost, and whiskey's our investment vehicle. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So we've got such a great relationship with all distilleries, do option traders. You know, our ear is so close to the floor, it's ridiculous. So when we hear something's going down in the market and a certain limelight's going to be shone on a certain particular distillery, we want to bring it to our clients first, and that's where you make the real money, right?
Absolutely, mate, yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about peated, non-peated.
Yeah.
Because there's a massive...
Let me interject there 1 second, mate. Again, this, like we said in last week's episode, you know, taking it down to real sort of like layman's terms.
Yeah.
Talk to me and our audience about the difference between peat and sweet.
So, you know, your peated whiskies, peat is they call it turf, right? That's the traditional term for it. It's a fuel. It's literally a fuel that's cut out of the ground.
It looks like soil, right?
They bring it in briquette sort of form.
Yeah.
And it's you know, my fondest memories of going to the family farm in Ireland is that they heated the house on peat. So this
That must have smelled lovely.
It was lovely, mate. Honestly, yeah. Smell brings you back. But
yeah,
but what it is it was the only way, the efficiency for fuel back in the day, like coal burning, etc.
Yeah.
To do and heat and whatever may be, peat was the number one. So you're going to find yourself in that sort of that geographically walking up from the east coast of Ireland and the west coast of Scotland all the way up Ireland specifically.
Yeah.
Your Lefroys, your Lagavulins, you know, they're probably the peatiest ones you're going to find. They all rely on peat as energy, and it gives this peated sort of. A lot of people consider it. Look, again, it's said, mate, it's a laugh, it's relatable. It tastes and smells like TCP. It's an acquired taste, you know. And if you want to talk about opinion of what you think's nice compared to what makes money,
yeah,
we're here to make money for our clients, right?
Absolutely.
So if you've never tried whiskey before, you know, it doesn't matter. But when you come to one of our taste events, which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 they're going to go for the sweet, which is more spay.
Between peat and sweet, you mean?
Yeah. The peated ones have more acquired taste, but guess what? The peated ones making the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, we'll get onto that in a minute. But give us some good examples of heated whiskies and then some sweet whiskies.
So Lefroy for me is my number one.
Yeah. Is that your fave?
It's my favourite. My father-in-law said he hated it the other day, but he managed to go for a whole bottle on Sunday. You know?
Yeah. I think you sent me a picture of him asleep in the garden. Is that the one?
It's an acquired taste.
He hated it.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, you can't have too many of them peated whiskies. You can go for a whole bottle of sweet, but you know, whiskey's whiskey in the day. You get once your palate gets used to it, it's an acquired taste. But then that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Your sweets are easy go-tos. Your Macallan's obviously the number one, right?
Yeah.
Everyone
loves a Macallan.
Everyone loves a Macallan. It's come with a price.
Yeah.
Your space sides are going to be like that, but you still get peated whiskies all across geographically across Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
But prolifically, your peated whiskies are come from Ireland, and that's their USP. And what I want to talk to you about today, and we want to discuss with clients, is that why are we talking about peat and non-peat? Who cares? Yeah. So when we're talking about when we distill it down, is about showing our clients a return.
Yeah.
This information for our clients is
okay.
Why do I need to know this?
Okay, so when you say the information and you're getting to it, I can sense you're chomping at a bit to get this out there.
Yeah.
We know the difference between peat and sweet. Peat is the way the soil or the burning mechanism that it's made with.
Yeah.
Which I assume gives it that sort of smoky.
Yeah, it's
more flavour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sweet. Well,
it's the normal process.
Yeah, that doesn't need much explanation.
They don't use peat.
They don't use peat, and it's sweet.
It's very simple. That's why I like it.
Absolutely. But there is some legislation coming where, is it the Scottish government by 2030 are banning the burning of peat?
Yeah, so again, it's already out there. So when the cat's out of the bag, and when you use a brokerage like Whisky By Time, you buy a rumour, you sell a news.
Correct.
Where we're so involved in the industry, look, we get to that before it hits the mainstream. You know, the phrase is, you know, today's fish and chip paper. Today's news is tomorrow's fish paper.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So we're there for you. So it's all about getting the best price and best price out.
Yeah.
Even saying it now, we'd be foolish to think that we're not the only people who know that there's a ban in Scotland coming on the peat burning.
Yeah.
For sustainability, doing a bit for the environment.
Yeah.
And it's national news, but how would it make them money? That's all you got. It distills down to how with this information make my clients money.
Yeah.
You know, we're not financial newsreels, we're whiskey brokers. At the end of the day, we want to make you a very good return.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we give you, we work very much on the fact of the supply and demand curves.
Yeah.
And when you work in a market that's governed by supply and demand, and it's just choosely working in our favour, mate, honestly, it's the government's banning peat burning.
So, and it's interesting you said that because you buy on rumour, sell on news. So we've bought on the rumour and now selling on news. News being that the peat burning being
banned. So
it's being banned. But why is that so important to anyone that's investing or acquiring peated whiskey?
The perfect storm in a teacup when you're making an acquisition of whiskey is that the demand is ferocious.
Yeah.
Supply is very limited.
Yeah.
Supply and demand, right? Everyone knows that. So when you get the government coming in saying, look, these whiskies that are being produced and their unique selling point is being peated, and that's what they sell themselves on, these big blue chips, like Lafroig, Lagavulin.
Yeah.
And they can't make that again. It's a common phrase, when you tell someone they can't have something, they want it more. Correct. Yeah. So that's pushing the prices as it stands. But knowing full well when you actually have something that's going to become extinct, I mean, let me put it this way. If you owned a dinosaur, you opened up a petting zoo, how much would you charge for someone to go and see a T-Rex? It'd be astronomical. And I like to be extreme, but that's what's going to happen. You cannot make peated whiskey anymore.
You'd have to open a new finger shop as well, though, I suppose. It's getting runs striking a T-Rex.
No, but listen, I get
what you're saying. Ultimately,
I'm trying to keep it down.
Ultimately, you're owning a dinosaur.
Yeah, because again, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah,
and I'm going to repeat that. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you're on a time machine, give me a call. We're going back and buy more. But it's too late. So this is why we're in the whiskey market. We're proactive, not reactive. We always are on the front cusp of the information.
Yeah,
we hear the peat's getting banned. The demand's going to pick up. The supply is going to be gone.
So interestingly enough, just last night I had a wee dram of Lafroig.
Go on, mate.
And I was talking to Ted, my son, and looking at him, he's 7, by the way, as you know, but to you guys, he's 7. I was looking at him thinking that when he's my age, he probably won't be able to get a peated whiskey unless he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Am I way left field thinking that, or is that?
No. It's going to be like champagne was. You know, champagne, now the climate's changed so much with the champagne market that they're actually sowing seeds and planting grapes and doing their vines in the South Downs, you know. So we've got a perfect chemical compound and makeup to make the best champagne, but it's not champagne.
No.
It's what champagne should be.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. Unless you're very privileged to buy a vintage
Scottish peated whiskey.
Yeah.
It's not going to exist.
This is an ideal scenario. I've never seen it in my lifetime.
So let me ask you this then, Ollie. If I'm sitting here as I'm sitting on a Lafroig and I've had it 5, 6, 7 years, what's your advice to me?
Hold it. Don't sell. Never sell. You're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where the market...
You are sitting on the proverbial Tyrannosaurus Rex.
If you're looking at the basic laws of economics of supply and demand, and you're sitting on a major blue chip and you've bought now,
yeah,
you're going to get a very good price. Because listen, they're going to ban it in 2030. So what? Yeah, it's happening. Again, they will chop and change this. We've seen this happen quite a lot with the governments and politicians. They do this, but they have to have that responsibility.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's not if, it's when. So buying peat now is very obvious to buy peat right now.
So the perfect storm in the teacup, and correct me if I'm wrong, would be that people are going to continue drinking it. People are going to continue loving it.
Yeah.
However, it's stopping production.
Yeah. And do you know what these distilleries...
So in 20 or 30 years...
You're going to have something that's once it's gone, it's gone. And you again, when you're working in 1,000 casks and you go to 100 casks and you go into tens of casks, That's where the real matters made.
And then you get down to single digits.
The consumption is going that far. You've got to remember, guys, that distilleries are there to produce. We've capitalised on a position of process of maturation in the barrel. Yeah. So we're buying young, selling old.
Yeah.
Distilleries not doing that. What they're doing is they have to get that. There's just a process for them to be able to age the whiskey. They need to get into a bottle.
Yeah.
So to supply and keep the doors open, they still need to have whiskey in bottle.
Yeah.
So they know the full well that they're going to come to an abrupt stop with the process they've got. So they also, every distillery owner I spoke to, they're living in borrowed time.
Yeah.
So they're buying that every day. So they're going through their supplies. As an investor,
yeah,
we just sit on it.
Yeah.
You know, you can command your own price. It's almost like, I could tell you now that looking at this scenario now, for me, I always have skin in the game. I always buy 2 casks of everything I recommend for my client. You know that?
Yeah.
Both for Lonnie and Philly. It's money in the bank for the next day. I don't know full well it's gonna do very well. For me, Peter, I bought 4.
Yeah.
Why? Because if I'm being told by the city owners that they have to emulate other gas or trying to just get that smoky texture that's not going to be the original, then if you've got the original, you're writing checks, man. Seriously, it's for us. It's just simple information put to good use, and to the layman, it may just be very basic information. In the right hands, it's very sensitive information.
Yeah,
and that's why we do so well for our clients. You know, so at the end of the day, I truly believe that the energy now and the focus should be purely on P, because it's going to become extinct, and that is the perfect storm in a teacup. I mean, we've focused on ghost distilleries, mothball distillery.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Hanyu.
Yeah.
We're the sole distributor for Hanyu at the moment. And they shut down for God knows how many years. They just reopened up again. They've launched their first whiskey, backed by dope demand, the guy said. And this is exactly what you want, but they're still producing, but the demand's so ferocious, they cut the prices keep rising.
So in your 17 years in the whiskey and wine market, have you ever seen such a perfect storm in a teacup, as you put it?
No, I try and draw comparables, mate. It's a great question. Like, the best scenario, and my naivety, you know, was when the stock market collapsed in 2008. And if you had the foresight just to diversify even 5% in portfolio, we're not talking change your whole ethos here.
Yeah.
Just 5% into the best performing blue chips. Not only would you have preserved your wealth, you would have seen a very good return, and you wouldn't be licking your wounds and be in a bad position, because a lot of people got hurt in the double dip.
Yeah,
I've seen the rug being pulled twice.
No, exactly. A lot of people lost a lot of money on that second dip, didn't they?
Oh, but the market's dropped by loads of high, and lo and behold, it goes after again. Who'd have seen that?
No.
Who'd just say that we don't have a triple drop?
Yeah.
We don't know, so hence why we're in a very good position.
So ultimately, if in 2008, what you're saying is, if you bring that forward to now, you know, if you've got £1 million in the stock market and you're diversified 50k into a whiskey, you would have preserved a hell of a lot of that £1 million.
You would have preserved your wealth. It's preservation first, then speculation afterwards. But in uncertain times, now we learn from that. My biggest regret was the fact that I didn't tell my clients to do more.
Yeah.
But it was new to me, it's first to learn.
Exactly.
So I've reminisced with that sort of scenario, Tom, and go like, right, okay, you've got to be more confident with what you're doing after the experience you get, and you think, these one-time opportunities come off. We're working cycles of trends, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at the fact that the government has banning peat for the environment, etc. Yeah, they're not going to go around and go, let's stop it and go again. They're going to just stop it. So you've got to capitalise on this information now.
I mean, in the world we live in today, you know, and everyone's doing their utmost to reduce their carbon footprint. Emissions are a big deal. And obviously, when you're distilling whiskies, or you're burning constantly, what is the ultimate reasoning behind the banning of peat burning? Is it solely in emissions?
Look, it would be foolish to think that some farmer in the back countries of Scotland and Ireland or wherever it may be won't stop using it. Of course they will be. Yeah. It's the people in the limelight that have the responsibility to show these distilleries are massive conglomerates now. Yeah. Owned by even bigger. Yeah. So they got to show
the Diageos.
These guys have got to show what they're doing. So at the end of the day, if that's what it's got to take to again, tradition versus modern society. Yeah. You're working in a traditional market. Yeah. It's worked in our favour. Yeah. If you drink it, If you have to drink it, then you're going to pay a bit more. If you invest in it, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's the facts.
So I suppose summing that up, it's a catastrophe for the drinker if you're liking peated.
Yep.
But brilliant for the investor.
Again, this is what I'm saying to you. Look, we need to get this out of our heads now. When I was a stockbroker, I invested in BP for a good solid yield and a robust blue chip company. Did I care about the chemical makeup or compound and how many barrels they drilled? No, it's just a solid blue chip. Don't get attached to the fact that it's whiskey because you can drink it. It's the fact that it shows a good return.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think, taking a sidestep on that really, and you picking it up, and it's something I'd like you to touch on quickly before we wrap up, the difference between, buying into whiskey to see an ROI and enjoying whiskey are two, you can't romanticize what you're buying against, because ultimately it is a vehicle to make money, compound and preserve and grow your wealth, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not really doesn't matter.
100%. And any sentimental attachment you get to it, you need to forget that right now.
Yeah.
As soon as you start getting sentimental attached to something that compounds really well for you, albeit whiskey, then you need to just understand, we're here, we work backwards, we're here to put tax returns in your bank account.
Yeah.
And that's it. How we get there, the platforms we provide for you, the whiskies we introduce you to that are going to get you there. Again, it doesn't matter if you like it or not.
No.
And my hardest client, mate, you know this well, is the people that think they know about whiskey, they like it.
Yeah.
Or they like what they like.
Yeah.
But they ignore the fact what makes money.
Yeah.
So you need to get that romanticism out of your head. It needs to be like just a purely investment vehicle here we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And that's what's half the, because it comes with the charm of what we're doing,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we work on facts and figures, and the basic information of bottling rate, consumption rate, export rates, big buyers, the information seems very basic, but in the right hands, again, it's very sensitive to us, and we can strike and make that acquisition for our clients.
And I suppose it's almost like, my preference would be a chestnut coloured racehorse, but if it's a 200 to 1 chance, I'm probably not going to back it.
Listen, the best looking horse is not going to win the race. They don't know what price they're at, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But similarly with whiskey, just because you like to drink it doesn't mean to say it's the vehicle for you.
It goes against your head and heart now. Yeah. We work on facts and information. That's all we work on.
Yeah.
We don't go on what we like and what we don't like taste wise.
Yeah.
It's about what's getting drunk, how the production rates. What it distills down to is supply and demand.
Yeah. Brilliant, Nick. Brilliant. So, I suppose for the drinkers, we feel for you. For the peat enthusiasts, we feel for you, and we're sorry this is happening.
But we're here for the investors.
And congratulations. Thanks everyone for tuning into PodCasts. This has been a Whisky By Time production with me, Tom Marler, and him,
myself, Oliver O'Donovan.
As always, visit our website and socials for any information, or if you have any questions, our contact details are on there, also in the notes below.
Please tune in for our next podcast on why whiskey is a great gift as well. And even better, I look forward to, hopefully seeing you at our next tasting event as well.